When I landed my job at Marlowe and Company, it felt like a milestone. I'd worked for years to build a reputation as the reliable one, the go-to person for projects that needed a cool head. I wasn't just another employee, I loved my work. The office buzzed with deadlines and caffeine, but it felt like home. I also had a life outside, a steady relationship, a supportive partner, and a clear boundary between personal and professional. At least, I thought I did. Little did I know how blurry those lines would become. One of my colleagues, Jason, was the sort of person everyone liked. Friendly, always cracking jokes at meetings, offering to help. We worked on a major project together, late nights, pizza deliveries to the office, that kind of camaraderie you get when deadlines loom. I appreciated his help, but I also noticed his compliments shifting from my work to me. "You're always so put together, I don't know how your boyfriend's lucky enough to have you." At first, I laughed it off. People say things. Offices can be awkward. But a quiet discomfort started building. The confession happened late one evening. We were the last two people in the office. I was finishing slides, he was packing up. Then he said it, so casually I almost missed it. "I know you're in a relationship, but I just needed to tell you, I have feelings for you." The words hit like a dropped mug. Everything stopped. My heart pounded. I tried to be kind, but I felt a cold, creeping sense of violation. I managed, "I appreciate your honesty, but I'm not available. Please, let's keep things professional." He nodded, but the dynamic shifted instantly. The next day, the jokes were gone. Eye contact avoided. Projects felt heavier. Months later, different person. New project. Another long hours partnership. This time it was Anna, a woman I respected deeply, who confided in me at a conference dinner. She knew about my partner, even joked about him in meetings. And then, over dessert, she said, "I think about you all the time. I know you're taken, but I can't help it." It was déjà vu, but worse. It wasn't just awkward, it was exhausting. How many times could I set the same boundary? How many times could I leave dinner or a meeting with that hollow feeling in my stomach? I started dreading work trips. My safe space, my career, felt invaded. The tipping point came during a team offsite. We were at a hotel conference room. After the sessions, a few people went to the bar. I stayed behind to email my partner. When I came down later, Jason and Anna were both there, and I felt like prey in my own workplace. I excused myself, went back to my room, and locked the door. The next morning, I looked at myself in the mirror and realized how much the stress had aged me. This wasn't about flattery. This was about respect. It was the first time I considered leaving. Instead, I did something I'd never done before. I went to HR. I explained, calmly, factually, what had happened. Not to ruin careers, but to reclaim mine. I also had a frank talk with my manager. "I don't feel safe. I need clear boundaries." The response surprised me. HR took it seriously. My manager reassigned teams and made it clear that confessions of that kind were inappropriate. It wasn't perfect, but it gave me breathing room. For the first time in months, I felt like I could exhale. Now, years later, I tell this story not because it's dramatic, but because it's common. People cross lines. They mistake proximity for intimacy. And when you're on the receiving end, it's not flattering, it's draining. If there's a moral here, it's this. Setting boundaries isn't rude. Protecting your space isn't overreacting. You can be kind and still say no. That job taught me more than spreadsheets or marketing plans ever could. It taught me that professionalism is fragile and worth defending. And when I left Marlowe and Company for a new position, I left with a clearer sense of who I was, what I'd accept, and what I'd never let slide again.